Everybody, it's Tyler here at the Texas Cup, checking with team number 4587, Jersey Voltage. I'm here with Brian and Isaac out of Houston, and we're going to be talking more about this modified 2020 robot. Of course, going in through the intake, up and through their hopper area, shooter, climber, and a great aesthetic that your team has as well, too. All this and more coming up on Behind the Bumpers.
Giving you a voice.
Making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
We would like to thank our friends at Stryker for supporting fun so we can continue to make content for you. Stryker is a leading medical device company and is looking for those in first to join their team as interns or for a great career. Come join a company that will actively support you being in first at careers.stryker.com. If you're on an FRC or FTC team and you're currently meeting safely in person and have a functional robot, we'd love to have you on our Behind the Bots or Behind the Bumpers segments. Go ahead and reach out to us on any of our social channels, on Discord, or send us an email at admin@firstupdatesnow.com, and let's get your team scheduled to be on First Updates Now.
So Brian, we're going to be starting out with your intake here. So talk to me a little about the design of it, why you decided to go with maybe some of the materials as well, and just kind of what went into it.
So for the intake, we decided to go with Lexan, mostly because it was much more easy to manufacture, and as well as it's a bit lighter than aluminum. For our intake design, we decided to use it as a claw method. So this will come down, if it wants to come down. There you go. And we have one motor running all these three axles. And so for our power cells, after the power cells come in here, they will run to the storage. Now for the storage, we had multiple iterations. One time we didn't have any of these PVC pipes for the balls to come out. Before then we used idlers, but the best iteration was the PVC pipe. So the way the balls transition into the shooter is by these belts. Now in the back over here, we have some compression adjusters. So if there's ever a ball here stuck, we just adjust this on the back by a couple bolts and nuts. And from there, we have this kicker up here just stopping the balls to enter the shooter.
So I want to ask you a little bit on your intake here. I'm actually curious about your wheel spacing on here. How did you come up with like having these wheels close with the gap here, that sort of thing?
So the wheel spacing was mostly used, so none of the balls would go into the middle, because that was our most weak point of getting the ball stuck here in the middle. Though we have these top ones spaced so they don't hit the belts, because if they hit the belts, they start to come loose.
So Isaac, talk to me a little bit about on this shooter here. So you guys got a very large shooter, a lot of big Coulson wheels on it. It's a lot of weight to get those motors up and going. So talk to me about the general design for it, and then how you went about the process of those flywheels.
All right, so the general design of our shooter is based upon the ability to shoot both close and far. And adjustable hoods are mechanically complex, so we went with two separate hoods. And we can change the direction we are spinning the flywheels to be able to make a close shot with this hood and a long shot with the front hood. So the reasoning behind choosing the Coulsons is that because our robot is 2 power cells wide, we'll be shooting twice as mass as normal and losing twice as much inertia as we go.
That's really interesting. So it's really just based on that. I don't know if I've seen that before in a robot yet. So that's really neat. But let's put a couple of the power cells through and check that out, just so we see as it goes into the shooter. So then for the shooter, then you said it just depends which way you spin it, which way it goes on that. Do you get more accuracy out of one versus the other? Do you typically see, or are they kind of similar?
So we get more accuracy from the close shot because we're closer.
Sure.
The long shot, generally it's pretty accurate. The issues arise when we switch between running 2 balls versus 1 ball.
Makes sense on that. Take us into your climber here. It goes through, it looks like you got a telescoping climber, so 3-stage assembly on something like that. So tell me a little bit more about the concept behind it. And I'm curious to hear, can you hang just off of 1 hook, or do you always have to do 2?
All right, so starting with just the general mechanism of the climber. So down at the base, we have a constant force spring that is pulling this string here, which cascades it up and down. And these are going around 3D printed caps with bearings in them. And so this by default pulls it up. Down here we have a 775 that is pulling a cord in tension connected to the hook which will start and retract it, but as we unwind the cable, it will extend, and then we wind it back down to climb. This allows repeatability for climbs in case we miss. As per, can we climb one hook? Originally, no. If we do miss, the cable inside is strong enough to hold it as long as the gusset doesn't give.
Sure. And then lastly, your aesthetic on here. Obviously, you guys, I really love just the cuts and stuff that you do on this. So why is having a good aesthetic important to your team?
Honestly, a good question. It's kind of been tradition to powder coat it yellow. It stands out, and it kind of lends some amount of identity to the team.
All right, fair enough on that. Well, 4587, thanks a lot for taking the time to speak to us about your robot and your team. Good luck here at the Texas Cup. And of course, can't wait to see robot hopefully in future competitions as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We would like to thank our friends at Stryker for supporting this video. Stryker is looking for current and future FIRST alumni to join their internship program, and FIRST mentors who are looking for a great career with a company who actually supports their FIRST journey. Go to careers.stryker.com to learn more. You can also directly support Fun by joining Fun Nation. Click the join button, and just for a few bucks a month, you'll unlock special perks and directly support us so we can keep making great content. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. And check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.